Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Let's dive into some of the most intriguing, game-changing rumors and moves that are currently shaking up the NFC East. And it's all centered around the New York Giants and one of the league's most exciting wide receivers, Jaylen Waddle. You've probably heard some whispers in the NFL circles, and if you're a Giants fan, you know that every move, every shift in the division can have profound implications, especially when it involves a player like Waddle, who's been turning heads not only for his speed but for his explosive production. First off, the Giants are in a pretty interesting position right now. Coming into this season, they've found themselves at 2-4, which isn't exactly where they want to be, but they're still in the thick of things in the NFC East. The team's cap situation isn't ideal, just around $5 million, which means any move has to be strategic and smart. The recent injuries, like Mal Neighbors being out with a knee injury since September, Darius Slayton hamstring issues that kept him out of Week 7, and questions surrounding Schmitz's concussion status, have made the Giants look for ways to inject fresh energy into their offense. Enter the idea of acquiring Jaylen Waddle from Miami, a move that could redefine their offensive potential and give them a real shot at climbing the standings. Now, Waddle, drafted out of Alabama in 2021, has been quietly but steadily building a case for being one of the league's most electrifying receivers. He's a Pro Bowler in 2024 and is known for his incredible speed and route-running ability. Last season, he racked up 200 yards and scored 7 touchdowns, and this year he's still among the elite, with 25 receptions for 290 yards and 2 touchdowns. What makes Waddle stand out isn't just his stats, although they're impressive. It's the way he dominates in contested catches, with a 50% success rate, and his yards after catch, which are top in the league at 6.5 yards per reception. His deep route completion percentage is around 48%, which puts him in the top 10, and he's yet to drop a pass versus man coverage this season. Plus, his maximum speed of 21.8 miles per hour makes him one of the fastest receivers in the league, similar to Tyreek Hill during his peak with the Kansas City Chiefs. Looking at his career, Waddle has accumulated over 500 yards and 40 touchdowns, with a route win rate of 64%. That's a pretty solid indicator of his consistency and ability to create separation against tight coverage. His injury history includes a quadriceps issue in 2025 that cost him a game, but overall, he's been remarkably durable, especially considering the explosive style of play he brings. The Dolphins, meanwhile, are in a bit of a rebuild mode. They're sitting at 1-5 overall, and with Tua Tagovailoa's struggles and the team's overall performance, especially on defense, which is giving up nearly 30 sacks, ranking 29th in the NFL. They're looking to free up cap space, particularly to extend Tua and possibly sign other key players like Wilkins on the defensive line. The Dolphins are in a tough spot financially, with around $8 million in cap space, but they're also aware that Waddle's value could be a cornerstone for future success, especially if they decide to rebuild around their defense and young talent. The idea of moving Waddle to the Giants isn't just about acquiring a talented receiver. It's about transforming the Giants' offense into a juggernaut that can compete at the highest level. Imagine Jalen Hyatt, who's already shown flashes of explosiveness with early 250-yard performances, teaming up with Waddle. That duo could redefine the Giants' offensive identity, making them more dynamic, more unpredictable, and much tougher for defenses to handle. The projection, if this trade happens, is that Waddle could rack up around 100 yards and 9 touchdowns this season, significantly boosting the team's passing yards per game from roughly 200 to over 240, and elevating their EPA per pass attempt by nearly 18%. Think about the possibilities. Waddle's ability to create separation, his elite yards after catch, and his deep threat capability would open up opportunities for Jackson Dart, the young quarterback who's still developing but shows promise. Dart's current stats, Around 100 yards passing with 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, would benefit immensely from Waddle's speed and playmaking ability. Chemistry they could develop in this new dynamic would be a game changer, especially in critical moments, like red zone efficiency, which could jump from 55% to around 75% against tough defenses like the Eagles, who typically allow about 130 yards per game on the ground. And let's not forget about the impact on the Giants' overall chances in the postseason picture. If Waddle joins the team, the odds of them reaching the Super Bowl could shift dramatically. Currently, their Super Bowl odds are around plus 12-0, which reflects the uphill battle they face. But with Waddle in the fold, those odds could improve to plus 4-500, especially if he can replicate his success in the playoffs. Deep roots in domed stadiums, especially in the postseason, could see a plus 25% boost in red zone efficiency versus man coverage, similar to what we've seen with teams like the Cowboys. Such a move could give the Giants a genuine shot at making a deep playoff run, and perhaps even more, threatening to disrupt the usual NFC powerhouses. Now, the big question is whether the Dolphins are willing to part ways with Waddle. Given their current rebuild and financial constraints, trading him could be a strategic move to free up cap space, especially to extend Tua and bolster their defensive line, like Wilkins. The risk for Miami is that their offensive efficiency could drop by about 12% in EPA per pass, similar to what happened with the Chiefs after trading Tyreek Hill, an experiment that didn't exactly lead to immediate success. But for the Giants, this is a golden opportunity. They could make Waddle the centerpiece of their offense, transforming their passing game from a below-average unit into one that's elite, explosive, and capable of competing with the best in the league. This move isn't just about adding talent, it's about sending a message. The Giants are serious about contending, and they're willing to make bold moves to do it. Waddle's addition could be the catalyst for a complete offensive overhaul, turning New York into one of the most feared passing teams in the league. Remember, with the right pieces around him, like Hyatt and the emerging Jalen Hyatt, Waddle can maximize his impact, creating a combination that defenses simply can't handle. The synergy between Dart's arm, Waddle's speed, and Hyatt's explosiveness could be a nightmare for opponents. Looking ahead, if this trade happens, the Giants' chances in the NFC East and the NFC overall could dramatically increase. The odds of them making a deep playoff run, perhaps even reaching Super Bowl LXI, could jump from plus 12-0 to around plus 4-500. Deep in the playoffs, especially in domed stadiums where Waddle's deep roots shine, that plus 25% boost in red zone efficiency versus man coverage could be the difference between a deep run and an early exit. It's a bold move, yes, but one that could redefine the Giants' franchise trajectory for years to come. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Waddle's addition could be the spark that ignites a new era of success for the Giants? Are you excited about the potential of this move, or do you think it's too risky? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of the Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest news, rumors, and analysis about your beloved New York Giants. This is a story that's still unfolding, and we're here to bring you every detail. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's keep the passion alive for the Giants.